way to Getaway Cabins.
Yay!
Crazy Mom and the girls. We're gonna go spend Christmas. Well, Christmas Eve, and then we come back Christmas Day. Today it's December 23rd, and we're on our way. So we have about 56 minutes left until we get there. Here's our mini cabin. Here's our view. This one's a lot nicer. A lot nicer. This one's a lot bigger too. All right, we're gonna load on up and get our stuff in here, and then we'll bring it back later. What we got?
We got tiny little presents.
Presents. Little presents.
Ooh, and we got some pretty little balls and a star.
Some lights. Let's see.
And a Christmas tree.
And the stand.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's 3 of those.
Uh-oh. There's 2.
Are we missing one?
I think we're missing one.
Oh, that sucks. Oh.
We're missing.
Well,
Unless it only has 2.
no, there's 3 slots. We're gonna have to figure out something.
Well, we'll have to lean it against the wall.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to lean it. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's
Oh, here it is.
Oh,
there it is. It
it's
was
in the
stuck
tree.
in it. Good.
yay!
Beans has found her spot over there on the bed.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ivy's just jiving all over the place.
Yep.
We got our little tree.
Yep.
This is no fuss Christmas.
Nope. Except driving in all the ice getting here.
Yeah. That was a little gnarly.
Yeah.
You might think we're crazy, but this is probably going to be our best Christmas.
Yep. Go hang out in the woods for a while.
Yeah. We got a snowy woods.
Look at Butterbean. I think
And we might want to say, it's only the 2 of us.
Yep.
We have no family. So why not do something like this?
Yeah, get out of the house for Christmas and go someplace nice. It's only for a few days.
Now, if we had family, we probably wouldn't. I don't know. We still might do this.
Yeah, we do like getting out.
Yeah.
We're staying December 23rd, 24th, and we're going back home on Christmas because we do our Christmas on Christmas Eve.
We used to have a big family. But as
Over
the
the
years
years,
go
yeah.
by, they have passed. So now it's just us. But they're here with us.
Yep. And we did bring Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
So we'll be opening up our gifts here. And Mom and I just got each other a few things. this year because we buy each other things throughout the year. So the girls, Ivy and Butterbean, they'll have their gifts, and they have quite a few. And even though they get gifts throughout the year too, they're kids, so they deserve more gifts. They're good girls.
Plug her in. Oh. I don't know how long.
Yeah.
There, look at that.
Cute.
Put the star on.
Butterbean. Or Ivy. Was that Ivy?
I don't know which one it was. Now we got little ornaments.
Comes with a lot of these little balls.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Usually bend the tips up.
So they don't fall?
Yeah.
Okay. Oop.
When you're by yourself, hey, think of something different to do.
Yeah, you don't have to stay at home.
No. Even if you do have some family, you know, you can give gifts and that earlier and
go and hang out somewhere.
yeah.
And these postcard cabins where we are, they were called getaway cabins. They're really nice. They're kind of pricey, but they do run a lot of discounts, like a lot of discounts. And as usual, no one's paying me to say this. I'm just sharing my experience. I mean, we got this cabin. I booked it not even a month before Christmas, and got it almost half off. It was like 40% off. So it's not too bad, you know what I mean? And you just want to get out for a little bit, so it's worth it.
I got a doggy laying on my foot.
Oh, an Ivy down there?
Yep.
Look at Butterbean. She's out like a
She's
light.
comfy.
Yeah, she is.
That ride tired her out.
Yeah, it did. It took us from where we live about an hour and 15 minutes to get here. Which, not too bad. We're in Columbiaville, Michigan. And the ride is usually really nice. I mean, some of it's busy, you know, roads, but it's not too bad. It's just when we started getting out here, it started like really icing, and it was. Let's just say I'm glad we got here when we did. It was getting quite dicey out there.
We kind of got to the driveway and
Slid just a little.
Slid a little past it.
Yep.
Look at the nice presents.
There. I need a big one.
That's
a red one over
nice.
here too. There.
Is that a red one?
Yep.
I got a big red one here.
There we go.
That looks cute.
Yeah.
That's our Christmas tree. Now Santa will come.
Yeah. Yep. Santa will show up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He'll say, I know where they're at.
Yep. She's just loving it. Been so long since I used this camera. Whoop. There she is. There's a Butterbean. Ivy. Ivy's all excited. She sees Grandma.
Oh my. There's Butterbean. There's our pretty girls. Yeah. No, I'm right here. Yeah, Granny's right here.
It's the only thing if you have dogs and you come here, everything is white. All the linen. So they do ask that the dogs don't get on the bed, but how do you stop it? Okay, it's time for the girls to eat. So, I forgot to bring a measuring cup for their food, but I think these cups here are 12 ounces. So, we'll take a peek at that. So, I gotta prepare Butterbean's food. So she gets a little bit of peas and carrots. Now in with the peas and carrots, she gets a little bit of bone broth. I get this from Meyer. She seems to really like it. She doesn't get much. It's called Butcher's Bone Broth. I wonder if there's any other lights I can turn on in here. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Let's turn on some lights. There we go. Maybe that'll be a little easier. Butcher's Bone Broth. This one is beef flavored. You gotta shake it up pretty good because it gets kind of congealed in there. So we're just going to give her a little bit here. Not a whole lot. There we go. Now the peas and carrots she gets are frozen. That way the stuff that's in a can usually contains a lot of salt. So we don't want to give that to her. Not that salt. We'll get their bowls ready here.
And she also can eat broccoli.
Yeah, it's really good for golden retrievers to have broccoli 3 times a week. Because they're more prone to get cancer. And anything that we can do to not let that happen, or prevent it from happening any sooner than it would. So, let's see here. Ivy gets a cup and a half of kibble. Now this is, what is this? This is,
Purina Pro Plan.
Yeah, Purina Pro Plan. Sensitive skin and stomach salmon and rice. I wanted to try to, I can't, you try to get the best you can afford for them. We tried Blue Buffalo. We tried, what was that other really expensive one?
Oh.
No, that really expensive one.
Neutral.
No, Royal Canine.
Okay.
We tried Royal Canine, and Beans just would not eat it, like, at all. So, and then she stopped eating just kibble, so that's why we have to put peas and carrots and bone broth, and she's going to get a little bit of boiled chicken breast as well. So, because of that, she only gets a cup of kibble instead of a cup and a half, because the other half a cup is the peas, carrots, bone broth, and chicken breast. So, put that over here for now. Now, we already boiled some chicken breast when we were at home to bring, so we didn't have to, have any extra steps while we were here.
No, leave her alone. No, leave it alone.
And Ivy likes to steal Butterbean's everything, so that's why you're hearing Mom tell her to leave her alone, because she likes to take Butterbean's toys and bones and food and everything else. So, let's see here. Butterbean doesn't get a lot of chicken, but, you know, enough to flavor, and there we go. That should be good. So it's like a whole thing for dinner time for them. Well, for Ivy. Butterbean couldn't care less, but Ivy loves food. Let's see. Let's turn this sucker on. Feels like it's heating up.
I know. No, be nice. Your dinner's done. I'd be saying, where's my dinner?
I know. She wants it. Okay, maybe a little bit more bone broth. There we go. Gotta have enough to cover the nuggets, you know. Almost, girls, not yet. Almost. Not yet. We're getting closer. Yeah, I know, you're hungry. Habibi. You can hear her drinking. Now, they do give you one pot and one pan, but you know how people like to use and abuse other people's things.
In a kettle.
Oh, in a kettle. So we bring one pot and one pan of our own, our, you know, regular house stuff. We know that it's not going to stick and, you know, that kind of stuff. But we do use their silverware and cutlery and everything. But they don't give you a spatula. They give you like a wooden one, but for eggs it's like impossible to flip an egg with one of those unless you're like extremely talented, and I'm not. So if you ever come to these places, think about that ahead of time. What you like using, what you plan on cooking, because we have to bring a few things. Just a few things, right, Mom?
In a coffee pot.
Yeah, they do offer coffee packets, like the pour-over kind, but pay attention on the website if you book it, because, like, everything is a la carte. So, it seems like it's taking forever. Turn that sucker on high and see what goes on. Butterbean's trying to hide her bone.
Yeah.
That's cute when she does that.
Uh-huh. Now, Butterbean, here's a good girl. She says, I'm just chilling. Huh?
Chilling.
She's just chilling. She says, I'm watching my mama. Ivy says, let me have it.
Yeah, Ivy wants the food. They're over there hanging out on the bed, watching me, waiting for num-nums. Yeah. I know. She's the loud one. Well, Butterbean is when she sees somebody out a window. But when Ivy wants food, she starts getting very vocal. I know. We're getting there. Not too much longer. Not too much longer, babies.
Is it heating?
Yeah, it's hot.
Oh.
We're just so used to a microwave.
Yeah.
You know? I know.
What's Mama got, Beans? Huh?
She said, Mama's got my food.
Yeah, Beanie, she come from a rough place. She was almost starved. And it's been a chore to try to get her to eat.
Yeah, it's weird because you would think that with her being almost starved that she would eat just anything. That she would just love food. But it's like the opposite. It's like she could take it or leave it for some reason, which is really weird.
We had a real rough time with her trying to put weight on her.
Yeah. She had Giardia 3 times. And no matter what we did, I mean, we would use baby wipes on her when she came in from outside. We would clean everything and sanitize everything. And she just... Something about... Sometimes there's like... That's Ivy drinking. Sometimes there's this thing inside of them that to where... After the active part of it, like, is stopped, then they'll always have this, I don't even know what it's called, really, but it stays with them. So they said that even though she won't be active, she does have, like, a dormant something or other in her body. But she's doing just fine. All right. So, that's done. Let's bring it down here. And butter beans.
I wonder if this would be okay for Ivy.
It might be.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. So, look at that. That is fit for a princess. All right. And... no, Ivy.
Ivy, here.
All right.
There you go. There you go. Go ahead. Ivy, no. It's okay, Beans.
Go ahead, BB.
Ivy,
Eat your
right
num-nums.
Right here, Ivy. Right here. Right here. Come on, baby girl. Right there's your food. No, you can't have beans. Come on, eat this. This is your food.
Ivy, go ahead and eat your num-nums. Nope, you can't have butter beans.
Come on, over here. Eat here. 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 Ivy, here.
Maybe she's scared eating on that.
Ivy, here.
I'd really like to have her up higher, though.
I know, but she's not doing it.
We'll bring you back after we figure this out. So Beans ended up getting finished, and then Ivy is eating out of there. They're used to their containers here, so we didn't know it was going to be this big, or else we would have brought 2, because we have 2 of these elevated food bowl things. So she's just a creature of habit. She didn't want it any other way. So now she's finishing up her food. Alright, girls. I think it's almost time for us to have some food, too.
Yeah.
So what are we going to have?
Broccoli salad.
Broccoli salad?
Yes.
So we went to this store called Vincent Joe's. And they have all kinds of good stuff. It's like a deli, and then they have like a whole huge meat counter. And we decided we wanted to go easy for this and not do a lot of cooking, but we will have to like warm up a few things. Okay. Alrighty. So we got your reposition now so you can see the pan better. So these things are freaking ginormous. We're only going to make one and split it. This is 2 like fajita things from that market I was telling you about. They're chicken and then vegetables and cheese inside. They're not fajitas. There's another name, but I can't remember the name of them. I don't know why I get on camera and completely lose train of thought, like completely. But that's all right. I'll think about it. It'll come to me eventually. So let's get one of these out if we can, hopefully. Ivy's running around like crazy because she sees Grandma outside and wants to be out there with her. Okay. So there's that. It's that one. These things are large. I don't think the camera really does it justice. Alright, back in the fridge. And spatula time. Gotta find the spatula. Aha, spatula. So it's kind of the only thing, you know, you kind of live out of bags and stuff when you do stuff like this, but you're here to relax and do something different. So why not? All right, quesadilla. That's what they're called. I completely spazzed and couldn't remember, but they are called quesadillas. Okay, let's turn this sucker on. We want to heat it kind of slow. We don't really want to fry it. That's why I didn't put any oil or anything in it. I just want to heat it.
Oh my gosh, it's cold out and it's still freezing rain.
Is it?
Yeah, it's light, real light, but it's coming down. Whew.
Put that on.
You cold?
Not really. Oh no, that's good. I had to adjust the camera a little bit.
Yeah, it's still coming down out there. It is cold. Oh.
Yeah, I don't hear it anymore, but...
No, but it is. It's coming down.
Look at that.
That lid is in there if you want to warm it better.
Well, I was going to end up flipping it.
Oh,
you know? Just got to make sure everything's in there. There we go. Feels like it's trying to heat. Yeah, it's on.
What's it all got in it?
There's peppers and onions and chicken and cheese.
Ooh, sounds good.
Yeah.
Are we just going to eat off paper plates?
Yep. Yep. We're not dealing with regular dishes.
No.
We'll just have it on a paper plate and call it good to go.
It's good to me.
Yeah.
I didn't bring nothing for lunches then. Betty's gonna be saying, what the frick? You don't have that old refrigerator.
No, because I have 3 freeze-dried meals.
Oh.
And
we got hash browns.
We got hash browns. We have other hash browns. We've got green beans.
What other hash browns?
Potatoes O'Brien.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I brought the green beans.
Oh, okay.
We have some food.
Okay.
Yeah. We have some food. Not a ton of food, but some food.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Oh. Well. Woo! Hot. I made a mess. That's alright.
Now try not to give me a real big piece.
Well.
Maybe a quarter.
Crazy mom gets what she gets.
You're mean. So I can't eat all that.
Sure you can.
No, I can't. Is there green pepper in that?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think so. But if you find any, just pick it out and give it to me.
Okay.
Turn this down a little bit. Need to heat up. Heat it up. The girls have full bellies now.
Yeah, it's still raining out.
IB.
Silly girl. You better quit. Santa won't come tomorrow.
Nope. Santa will say, oh, she was a bad girl. She gets coal.
Yeah.
She leaves us coal every day. Jazzy.
They got the bed tore up how they want it.
Yep, they sure do. They say, we're comfy like that. We like it a mess.
It is so nice. All these trees.
Yeah. Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah.
And during the summertime and even fall, you can't see your neighbor's cabins because of all the trees and the leaves.
Yeah.
So it gives you the feeling that you're out here alone, even though you're not, but it does give you the feeling.
Right now it feels like a winter wonderland.
Winter Wonderland?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe how warm it is in here.
Yeah, it is. It has to be insulated.
It has to.
It's nice, though.
It sure is. And you even got a telephone in case of emergencies.
Yep. Yep, you sure do.
Air conditioner was really nice in the summer.
Yeah.
I can hear the tapping of the freezing rain.
Yeah, I can hear that and this creaking, too. Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can catch some animals on the trail cam tonight.
Yeah, we'll put the trailer cam out and see if we see Bigfoot.
Yeah. I know the first time we came here and I believe it was Ivy outside. There was something out there.
Yeah.
I could hear it walking. It scared me.
Yeah, there was something. It sounded heavier than deer.
Yeah.
And it was fast.
Yes.
There was a news report that came out a few days ago that, what was it, cougars?
Yeah.
Cougars are being seen more in Michigan, that they're really starting to explode for some reason. So, and we're not that far up. I mean, Columbiaville is like in the thumb area. We're not that far up at all. We're not considered up north at all. But, yeah.
And I don't think there's bear right here.
I don't think so.
I know in Manistee there is. But we're a ways away from Manistee.
Yeah, we're probably a good 3 hours away from Manistee.
But you never know. But I know it scared me. Because you couldn't see nothing with the trees.
No, it was pitch black.
Dark.
Yeah, we'll go outside tonight and
the snow will light it up.
Yeah. But it'll still be quite dark probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Might be tomatoes in it. If so, I gotta pick them out. Oh, can you get my pop over there, please, Ma? Thank you. Okay. We got, let's bring it back around here, make sure you can see. We have chicken quesadilla. And broccoli salad. Now, I hate raw broccoli, but I will eat this.
She's odd.
Yeah. There's just some things I don't like. Okay, looks like I found the only tomato in there.
Can you thin me?
Oh, yeah. Mom don't like her peppercorns very, very thick.
Thank you.
See if that's good. Thin?
Yep.
Okay. I think it's a freaking leaf in there.
Well, Brussels sprouts has got.
We don't have Brussels sprouts.
Oh, yeah. We don't have broccoli. Sometimers.
Well, that's okay, because while I was turning around getting ready to bring the quesadilla over, I was like, what does she got forks out for? I guess it helps with eating.
Yeah. Yeah. Stay here.
It is coming down out here. It's nothing but ice. I wonder if you guys can hear that. It's weird. It feels like rain, but there's little balls of ice. Go poop, Beans. You gotta go poop yet? Let's not get on the road, baby. It's all ice. Come on, baby. Come on, sugar. Excuse me. Just chilling?
Just chilling.
Just chilling.
Just chilling.
The bathroom has become our storage area. That's all right though. Everything is just ice. It's still coming down. It's quite a bit later than it was earlier. Excuse me. There's cabins all over. I think there's like 40 or 45 cabins back in here. But like I said, in the summertime, you don't even see them because of all the trees and the leaves. Right now, they're easier to see though. There's a couple cabins there. Some cabins back in here. Hopefully this stuff stops, so tomorrow we can go on a walk down there. And there's a nature trail as well. Doesn't look like we have anybody staying next to us here. But we do have someone that pulled over and came in there. So that's okay though, haven't heard a peep out of them. Trusty Subaru. Yeah, baby. We're gonna get some crossbars for the roof rack, and so we can mount the Starlink. We don't have a mount just yet. All right, wilderness, baby. So, I said I'd give you a little look around. We'll take a look at how the Starlink is positioned, what we did with the battery box, the anchor. And here's the mini cabin. It looks bigger on video than it really is. But this one has a nice layout. The other one was kind of cramped. Our outdoor refrigerator. A couple of chairs. This is really nice to cook on. Last time when we were here, I cooked on it, and yeah, it's really nice. I looked at these things. I'd love to have one for home, but they're like $600. It's crazy. So I think I'll just stick with the fire pit I have, at least for now. That's kind of nuts. Kind of expensive. What is this? That looks like a piece of corn or something. I have no idea. Ew, it's mushy, whatever it is. Oh, I think it was I think it's some kind of mushroom. I don't know, but it's nasty looking. Let's get that away from here. We don't want the girls to be eating that, whatever it is. So we have the Starlink. And then we have everybody in the window there. There's Butterbean and Crazy Mom. So we have Starlink out here. Right there. Now it's doing pretty good because there's not too much of a blockage. This is the Starlink Mini. They had it on sale, so that's why I picked it up. I got the heating element on right now, so it melts everything that's coming down. So they have this log box out here, and I thought it'd be a good idea to put the battery bank in there. Got it propped open with a fire starter thing here, and there's the anchor solics. That way nothing's getting wet. You know what, let me wipe that off a little bit. There we go. Sorry for the crappy picture. Then we're gonna put a little shovel over top, just to make sure nothing gets in. There we go. So the Anchor Solix C1000 says it can operate in temperatures to -4 degrees. It's like 30 degrees, so it should be fine. And we're not leaving it out all night. We'll bring everything back in when we're ready for bed. We don't want anything to get stolen. I don't think anybody would steal anything, but you never know. Oh, someone else came to join at the window. There's everybody. Ivy's looking like, hey, what are you doing out there? And Butterbean's sitting with Grandma. Nice and warm and cozy while we're out here freezing our butts off. Yeah. So this has got quite a drop right here. You can't really make it out in the video, but it's a little bit of a drop. I know it doesn't look like it on the video, but it's starting to get darker. Let's go in and see what everybody's doing. Are we relaxing?
We're relaxing.
Relaxing? Fast acting, tin acting?
Yep.
So, it's almost 9 o'clock at night, and we're getting ready to wind down here. We're watching Norbit. So we have the Starlink going, and there's Ivy, there's Butterbean, there's Crazy Mom, and there's a good scene from Norbit. It's where she's doing the car wash to the milkshake song. So, we're getting ready to wind down here and kind of chill, but wanted to say goodnight. We'll bring you guys back tomorrow. And, yeah, there's the Jivey. The Jivey. Sit down. Sit. Good girl. Oh, no, just sit down. Just stay there. Say night-night.
Night-night.
She's like, we waving at. We waving at, Grandma. You guys gotta check out this tree with the lights off. It's really pretty. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Really lights it up in here. You can't really tell, but it does. It really lights it up. Good night, everybody.
Night-night.
We'll bring you back tomorrow for breakfast. Merry Christmas Eve, everybody.
Good morning. Merry Christmas Eve.
Good morning. So I think we're gonna make some breakfast.
We had a good night. I know I did.
Yeah, it was good. I get about 5 hours of sleep.
I slept past 3 o'clock. I'm usually up at 3 a.m.
Yeah. Yep. So now it's time for some food. We had our showers and the dogs have done their thing and ate their breakfast.
We got our Christmas shirts on.
Yeah, we're matching.
Yep.
We're candy canes and gingerbread men. So, I think it's time for breakfast. We neglected to bring any meat. So, we have, we're going to make scrambled eggs and potatoes O'Brien. I'm still tired.
And it's a white Christmas out there.
It is. We'll get some footage of that for you guys. And plop it in. It's really pretty. I wish I would have gotten it, though, before they plowed this morning. But they were out there super early plowing.
That was really nice. They plowed all the roads, the driveways. They even came and shoveled.
Yeah, that was really nice. That was cool. So, yeah. We'll get started on cooking. And then we'll go take a look outside and See what it's like out there. Okay, let's do this.
Looks like you're running in slow mo this morning.
I'm tired. I'm tired. Let's see. There's quite a bit of potatoes O'Brien. Where's the butter? Oh. Butter. Well, I probably don't need any butter with the eggs since we're going to be scrambling them.
Well, you might need a little bit. It's always nice to have a little butter in them.
Potatoes O'Brien. We got these from that market we were telling you about yesterday, that Vincent Joe's. These are really, really good. I won't have them all. I have just enough for the both of us. I have a little bit left over for tomorrow. Since we go home tomorrow, we won't do breakfast or anything in the morning. We'll just pack up and get going. Hopefully, it doesn't snow anymore, and the roads will be alright to drive home tomorrow. As long as it doesn't snow anymore. They should be pretty clear.
Freezing rain.
Yeah, we're freezing rain. What we were awing about is Butterbean laid her head on Ivy. I'll insert the picture here so you can see what I'm talking about. Oh, there's 8 eggs.
Wow.
We don't need that many eggs.
No.
Well, let's get the potatoes going.
So only make what you think then.
Yeah. We're going to be making scrambled eggs. So we'll take just a little bit of margarine. I know people like butter. We like margarine. And you can't find these anymore. They're the Parquet. They're called the East Coast sticks. I have to get them on Amazon. It's crazy. You get 18 packs of them. And they're not cheap, but you can't find them in stores here in Michigan for some reason. We're only going to use a tiny bit, though.
We grew up with that.
Yeah, I grew up with this, and everything we've always made has been with this. We've tried other margarines, and yeah, I know everybody says it's made with plastic, but plastic tastes good, apparently. But we've tried like Blue Bonnet and stuff, and it doesn't have the same taste.
And it's the best in cookies.
Yeah, it makes cookies just awesome tasting. So before we put the eggs on, though, we want to get these taters heated up because the eggs won't take long.
I hear the taters.
Yeah, finally.
Why do I smell tobacco?
I
No,
don't.
no spaghetti, it's tobacco now.
Spaghetti. It smells like spaghetti. It's odd. It's really weird.
Yeah. So we'll have for dinner broccoli salad, and we'll split the chicken.
Chicken. You got your stuffed cabbage too.
Oh yeah, so we can have both that.
And I've got a whole big piece of chicken.
And we got green beans.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we're all set.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lunch. Lunch.
Lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Greener beaners.
Got plenty of food.
Chicharrones.
Chicharrones. I mean, the kids like those. They enjoy the chicharrones. You have to see what Santa brought after we did breakfast.
I know.
Holy moly.
Jeez. We should probably try to work on them knots.
We'll get it.
I just can't undo knots.
I have a hard time too.
I used to be able to, now. Mm-mm.
Man, my thumb was burning last night.
Oh, that cut?
Yeah.
Yeah, them little cuts hurt.
Man.
Yeah, when I had woke up, I laid there for a while when I had to pee. And Ivy was up here, and Beans was here.
Oh, really?
Yep. She had, it looked like her head snuggled in, you were on your side and your legs were, you know, and it looked like her head was right here.
She loves laying with Mama.
I'd say, what, good 3 inches of snow or something?
Yeah, probably.
Would have been more if we didn't have the sleet, freezing rain.
Yeah.
That was something. Coming here, it was sleet. And
Yeah.
then it would change to freezing rain, then it would sleet a little bit, and then, you know.
Yeah, that wasn't fun. Ivy's just like, where's mine?
Yeah. Yours is cooling, baby.
Oh, ran away, egg. Look at her look. She's staring.
Hot. Oh, hot.
Mm-hmm. Good though.
Mm-hmm. Whew. Coffee's just about gone.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah, look at that massive cup.
I have to have it.
It's like 40 ounces.
That's good.
Yeah, it is really good. Nothing better than hot food on cold days.
Yeah. Sorry if you hear me swallow. I have a bad neck. And the food after 2 neck surgeries, they kind of messed my throat up, so it's a little hard to swallow sometimes.
Little bites.
That's my mama. She worries about me too much.
Mm-hmm. So I just came back outside. Here is our entrance, right, to the cabin. Now, there's a light here. It's pretty bright. Oh, look at this. Pitch black. Nothing. And we got quite a bit of snow, too. It's probably, oh, I don't know, probably an inch and a half deep. There's something out here I'm, like, hearing. And I don't know what. That's Butterbean. Starlink's doing pretty good. I know you can't really see it, kind of blends in with the snow, but it's definitely melting everything. It is very, very dark out here. See what these other lights can do that I have on the GoPro here. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, that's not bad at all. Oh, looks like we have neighbors over there now, too. So we have neighbors on both sides. I didn't even hear them come in. Totally snow-covered. It is very, very pretty and very, very quiet. Hopefully we'll be able to get some prettier shots in the morning. It is pretty though. Catch you guys later. Alright everybody, Merry Christmas. We had some company come to the cabin for Christmas Eve, so we didn't film anything. But we are getting ready to go home on Christmas Day because I have to work tomorrow, so I do have to go home for work. So you'll see our drive home. Bye.